Hello there folks, Robin back with what I hope is going to be a sort of definitive resizing file and cropping tutorial, sort of wrap it all up in one. So, there have been a few questions asked, how do I resize it and when do I resize a file if I'm submitting it to PPSOP? Very good questions. Of course, like everything in Photoshop or Photoshop Elements and picture editing, there are probably 3 or maybe even 5 perfectly acceptable answers. They'll all be different. Which is better? I don't know. Probably this one is more convenient. So let's say this is the image that you've been working on and you've done a little bit of, levels or what have you. You've fixed up the picture. You may have, I've actually just done this, but you've done a little bit of tinkering with it. And now you think, well, okay, this is okay. I need to upload. This is my homework. This is my assignment. So how do I fix this up? So do I now reduce the image size using the image size dialog box now? Well, you can do that, of course. Another way to do it is this: just use the crop tool. So the keyboard shortcut to get the crop tool, just if you want to do it quickly, just press C on the keyboard for crop. And you can see here it just pops up immediately. Now the thing is, we can then put in the dimensions we want this to be. Alright, so I think from memory the dimensions mentioned on the PPSOP website is 800 pixels. I'm going to cheat a little bit and make it 1000 pixels. Alright, just going to cheat and make it 1000 pixels. You have these little presets in here, so you could just choose those if you want to. And that's going to do a very similar kind of crop. And I'm going to put in the words or the letters PX after the 1000 pixels. Alright, and I'm going to put in, and this is sort of a little bit disadvantageous because it depends on the camera you have. You may not have a 1000 by 800 pixel proportion camera sensor, so you may end up by cropping it a little bit. Okay, and resolution, we could at a pinch, I put 72, I'm going to put in 100 pixels per inch, dots per inch. I can have it like that. Okay, so then if I click and drag, and it doesn't matter which way I pull this, I have to then lose some of the image, simply because that's the proportion I'm sending up. So I'm thinking, no, well, let's make it, instead of making 800 pixels high, let's make it 650 pixels high. I'm making sure I put the PX back in here. 650 PX. Okay, so now it's a much longer and thinner. So I'm thinking that's probably okay. I'm going to crop a little bit off the top and bottom, just moving the cropping marquee by tapping the arrows, the up-down arrows on the keyboard. And I think 1000 pixels by 650. That's probably the go. I could be terribly, terribly finicky about this and say no, let's make it 655. And again, it just depends on the resolution of your camera and who made the chip. No, 655 doesn't work, so maybe it could be, I don't know, let's have a look, maybe it could be 660. So you can spend all afternoon working this out. It's probably much better just to go with 650 and lose a little bit. Yeah, so it's shrunk it down. It's probably more like 675, but that's fine. So click OK, bang, goes small. It's now $1.99. I was going to say it's $1.89. It's now 1.89 million pixels. Okay, previously it was 60 million pixels. So I've cropped it down, so basically thrown all those pixels away. And this is now perfect for emailing, perfect for uploading to PPSOP. So if I go and get the dialog box here and we just shrink this down so you can see what I'm doing here, you can choose black and white, monochrome here, that's just the name of the file. I'm going to choose JPEG. Don't bother with including it in the organizer. Don't bother saving it as a copy because I'm going to call this whatever, assignment 01, and I'm going to stick it on the desktop. Bang. Now when we get to the preferences for the JPEG settings, excuse me, it's always a good thing to have the best quality, maximum quality, but having said that, you can get away with slightly less if you want to shrink it down. So like level 10, that's 245K, level 12 is 515, so it's basically half the size, and you certainly get a lot more than half the quality. You may lose 10% of the quality, but we're not going to notice. And you click OK, bingo. So that's how you can not only edit your picture, but then crop it afterwards so that it comes down to a digestible size in order to upload it to the PPSOP service. So good luck with that. Looking forward to seeing your pictures.